On this episode of Off Track, let's talk about what's going on with some of the cons this summer and going into the fall. We'll also talk about the Black Love Mixtape and a project I did with Christiaan Smith and the Georgia May Big Band. And maybe some other things. We'll see. We got time. This is Off Track. Let's go. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Off Track. I am your host, Lamar Harris, aka DJ Noonie, and as always, before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can be notified about different videos when they're going up, and make sure you follow me on social media at Lamar Harris 314 and visit the website thelamarharris.com. Let's get into talking about some of the cons that are going on this summer. As I said in a previous video, San Diego Comic-Con has been canceled due to everything that's going on with COVID. So we have Comic-Con at home. So I know a lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings and reviews about doing a con of that nature at home. How's it going to work? None of us really knows just quite at the moment. But I do kind of have my suspicions, and through a couple other different sources online, we do know that Marvel is still going to attend and still have some panel discussions along with Disney and DC. And we know that DC is going to do its own version of a Comic-Con called DC Fandom. The DC Fandom, I'm pretty sure, is going to talk about some of the movies that we're going to see coming out in the near future, such as Flash and the Flashpoint, Black Adam, Shazam. We're also going to have things dealing with the Wonder Woman movie, of course the Batman movie, and we'll get a chance to maybe see some other different villain spin-offs, as I said in a previous video. Focusing in on the Black Adam movie, we know The Rock has been teasing a lot of different things coming up with the Black Adam movie. We know we may see an appearance by Henry Cavill, and he also may be in the other upcoming Shazam 2 movie. Dealing with Wonder Woman, we know we're going to get a new Wonder Woman trailer at some point this summer, along with some other costume reveals about what Cheetah will really look like, and maybe see some trailers with her actually in there. We also are going to get hopefully a little bit more information about the Flashpoint movie that is coming up. If you're not familiar with Flash and the Flashpoint storyline, I would recommend watching the DC animated version of that, which actually gives a great adaptation of that story. And we do know that the live action film is going to feature not all of the Justice League such as the Flashpoint storyline does, but maybe a few people like Cyborg. You may see an appearance by Thomas Wayne, and just coming out today, we just found out that Michael Keaton may actually be making an appearance. So getting a chance to see Batman come back and play Batman. Michael Keaton was one of the first Batman that I've seen on the big screen in a movie theater, other than watching Adam West at home when I was a kid. But it's gonna be exciting to see him come back to that role and be a part of the Flash universe and the DC universe. So I'm excited for that. When we get into looking at what's going on again with the Batman movie, we know that none of those are technically going to be related, but moving forward, if they do decide to add Robert Pattinson somewhere into the modern day DC universe, since Ben Affleck will not be reprising that role, we may see some type of passing of the torch, or maybe some type of Flashpoint timeline that may tie all of this together. We just don't know what DC is really going to do, but hopefully some of these things will be answered in the DC Fandom this summer. In regards to some of the other things that we may see in the fandom, we definitely may have a few video game reveals. I know they're probably working on a Batman video game at this time, but details again are real spotty. You just don't know exactly what they're going to reveal. So be on the lookout for that and follow the link below to get more information as this develops. Dealing with Marvel. Marvel is going to have its version of San Diego Comic-Con. So we know that there's not going to be technically a Hall H panel where you have all these big reveals and Kevin Feige speaking, but we know they're going to do something cool and do some type of spin-off out of that. We know that we've got things like the Eternals movie that's coming, the Black Widow movie that's coming, that's going to have some setup regarding Phase 4. We know that we're going to have Thunderbolt Ross in there, maybe be able to see some of the Thunderbolts information, learn a little bit more about how those things in that movie are going to set up other things going forward in the MCU. Plus, we're going to probably get a better trailer of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and the Loki TV series. So again, we know that we're not going to have a physical con, but they're going to do something online to be able to keep fans excited. But we know that these movies are on track and television shows are still coming out on schedule this year. Hopefully there will not be any more changes or cancellations. So again, just stay tuned for updates. So about 5 months ago, I think it's been about 5 or 6, who's counting anymore, I got a chance to meet a guy by the name of Brandan Allexander Williams. Brian Owens, who's a soul singer from St. Louis, Missouri, actually introduced me to him, said, hey, you should definitely go check out this brother's work. I was like, cool, I'll go support, bought this book, and I was definitely surprised about the Black Love Mixtape. This is a book that I highly recommend. The back of the book reads, this is an anthology of contemporary literature dedicated to the Black woman. We created this body of work to uplift her and to teach young Black men how to identify love based on our examples so that they may love her most carefully. I love this book. I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you look up in the corner, you'll see some QR codes. So it actually connects to a Spotify playlist. So there are different songs that go with different poems. It is pretty dope. I hadn't seen a book like this ever before. And if you are a lover of good literature and poetry, I highly recommend that you order this book offline. It is a keeper. There are some great artists in here and authors. It features work from a variety of different people. So I would say cop this if you can. Give it as a late Father's Day gift, or just give it to somebody that definitely could use it. And definitely love to read poetry. So cop the Black Love Mixtape. Seriously. I wanted to take time to talk about a project I did with a guy by the name of Christiaan Smith out of New York. Christiaan Smith is a vocalist and an actor who has been on Broadway. He actually played Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, and he approached me last year about doing a big band project, a remake of a bunch of Frank Sinatra songs. So we got together, pulled the band in, and I flipped all these Frank Sinatra tunes, giving them a little bit of a different twist. I would definitely say if you like Frank Sinatra, you love big band, and you also like it with a contemporary feel, definitely check out our project, Come Fly With Us. It's a very good project. It's kind of, like I said, got a fresh take on a lot of classic Sinatra tunes. The name of the band is called the Georgia May. The Georgia May is actually named after my grandmother. And I've always wanted a big band since I was like, the first time I actually played in one, which was a band called the Jazz Edge Big Band. And actually attached to the link below with the link to the album is a link to the new single that we're dropping today, Know You Now, which is an Amy Winehouse remake done by the Georgia May and arranged by Jamie Burchett featuring vocalist Sherry Evans. So if you get a chance, check it out on Bandcamp. Let me know your thoughts on it. Pass it along. Let me know what you think. Well, that about does it for this episode of Off Track. Before I go, I want to leave you with this closing thought. It's the curves in life that make us stronger. And with everything that's been going on and things that are just happening, you just gotta be strong and embrace new challenges. Change is not necessarily always bad. Sometimes change is good. So just embrace it, move forward, just get through the curves in life as best as you can and be looking forward to where you're going. You've got to go through something in order to get to where you really are going. So life isn't going to always be easy. It's not going to be just peachy keen. It's not going to be this straight and narrow path. There are going to be curves and bumps and bruises. Sometimes you have to travel paths that are not always popular, but they're designated for your destiny. Until next time, stay on track by staying off track.